Hey, I am back in the office because I'm working. And let's be real, I did work after my video yesterday. So today I think is, I don't even know what day I'm on in my lives, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm actually enjoying these lives. If you're liking this and you're enjoying some of the information I share, please let me know. If you don't want to drop a comment below, that's fine. Just shoot me a DM. I'm absolutely loving the engagement that's happening in my inbox. I'm loving the text messages. I'm loving the messages that because I get to experience life with people that way, and I love it. So today the topic is just simply about what it's like to become a client of mine. What does it look like? And the topic kind of was like, well, how do I address this? Well, I could just go straight into what I do, but what I do doesn't really matter so much as why. Okay, so there's studies that have been done about relationships and people and how we are the sum, like if you were just to read all the way to the bottom and look at the abstract, and you would see, or the summary of the abstract, you would see that we are the sum of the 5 people we're closest to. Not necessarily in proximity to one another, but the 5 people that we are engaged in doing life with most, okay? So, we also know that these 5 people can affect our health in good ways or bad. So the study was specifically done, the part that I loved because I'm all about obesity and obesity related diseases. So there was this 2 friends that lived, I believe it was on the East Coast. I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be backwards, but there were 2 friends that lived on the East Coast, very close, best friends, like did life together all the time. One of the friends moved across the country. So now the other friend lives on the West Coast. Well, the one that moved to the West Coast started to engage in behaviors that were more, that would cause obesity and weight gain and those kinds of things. The person on the East Coast, okay, I'm backwards in this video, but the person on the East Coast started gaining weight. Yet they were not together, they weren't having dinner together, they weren't sitting across from the table together, but yet both of them were gaining weight. And the thing is that we pick up on nuances and behaviors and things from the people we're closest to. So think about like when you're hanging out with people, or think about like when you're in a workplace and you're trying not to cuss, but you are around all these people that start to cuss. Guess what's going to end up happening? You're going to hear these words come out of your mouth. It happened to my husband, and like we don't try to cuss at home. Okay, it's getting worse, but anyway, we try not to do that. But if we're around people that do, it just flies out, right? So we will, if you're going out to eat with somebody and you notice that they're eating crappy foods, you're like, oh, they're not going to judge me, so I'm going to indulge in crappy food. It just happens. We don't think about it anymore, okay? So also, don't think about just what others influence you to do, but think about what you do to influence others, okay? Who are you influencing, and what kind of influence are you having on them? So again, we're all talking about like why you should become my client, right? And now we're talking about influence. So think about what things that you make a priority. What you say is a priority versus what your life actually says. So we know that time and money, like if you go look at your bank account and look at where all your money goes, that's where your priorities are. Whether you say it's something else, that's where your priorities are. So if you are wanting to eat healthier and you're wanting to not eat out so much, so what should I see? I should see grocery bills, right? If you are wanting to give more money away, I should see a lot of donations or payments to places of donations, right? Our time. If we say that, oh, my priorities are my kids, my husband, are you spending time with them? Are you putting things above that? Are you just like checking it off a box like, oh, I said hi to my husband this morning, or oh, I said hi to my kids or goodbye to my kids this morning? Are you checking off a box, or are you actually living the priority and actually taking time to look them in the eyes, know their fears, know their concerns, know their hopes, know what their favorite color is? You know how many parents like don't know what their kid's favorite color is? And that freaks me out because I'm like, I ask my kids all the time, I'm like, oh, what's your favorite color? Just because I'm like, that changes. That's something that changes over time. So I want to make sure that I am aware. So something just as simple as asking your kid's favorite color, or your spouse, hey, what's your favorite thing? Just so you don't like, if you're like me and you kind of forget some things, just so you remember, and that's on the top of your head. So Something I wanted to talk about too is, well, who do I want to influence? Who do I want? Yes, Day. Sorry, my daughter just asked permission. So obviously, I would love everybody to be my client, right? But that's not my purpose. That's not what drives me. I don't want an athlete. I don't want an athlete unless the athlete struggles with obesity or obesity related diseases. I don't want someone who wants abs and a six pack, a bikini body. I don't want that. I don't want to coach that because I know I will dread my job because it's not where my passion lies. My passion lies in helping people find freedom from the bondage of food, access to life again, able to climb the stairs without question, chase grandkids, and not be out of breath and tired and have to nap when that grandkid naps. Or I'm so worn out from having my grandkids. When we're worn out from having our grandkids or our kids around, how depressing is that? How sad is that we can't keep up? Or if you're a parent, my husband's an older dad, older than me. But like him, he wants to have the energy to be able to go play if the kids want to go play. He wants to not have to worry about things. So I worry about, I can't do that because I'm so old. Age is not a restriction or a limitation unless you let it be. So again, becoming my client, I want someone on the table with me that is 100% in, saying, I need help. I have struggled with obesity and obesity-related diseases. My life is starting to become unmanageable because of my food and because of the weight that is literally on my body. I want that person. Why? Because I know what that's like. And that I started writing down some things of what a benefit of being of my client would be. And I went back to what some of my own clients, I just looked through some of their check-ins for today. And because most of you that follow me know, Sundays are my favorite day because that's when my clients check in and I get to see growth. I get to see I get to have a front row view of what's going on in their lives and the change and the growth. So benefit from coming to me, one client, I'm gonna have tears. One client today texted me and said, I did my check-in and I just want to let you know it's really long, but I took the time to flesh through things. I went up there and read and I'm like, this girl feels comfortable enough to be vulnerable, to flesh through struggles, to admit where she struggled and then ask for help and give me the opportunity to speak into her life. That's what's different about me, is that I speak into the life. I don't tell you what's right or wrong. I ask you a lot of questions. I encourage you. I say, hey, maybe you need to add more of this, or have you tried this? Have you thought about that? Or things like that. I have all the knowledge I need, all the textbooks I need to help coach people to health. Simple, of course you got to eat less to, everybody can lose weight, but the real thing is that real sustaining weight loss is not about the food. It's not about the food. It's about the relationships. It's about the trust. It's about finding confidence in yourself again. And it's so worth it. So worth it. And I get so much fire. And I know I talked about it yesterday in my live yesterday, and this is going really long and I'm sorry, but I get so lit up inside to watch other people grow. I don't need someone telling me, oh, you're awesome or great job. I don't need that. What I need to see is people living their life because of some things I've suggested. I love it. I love it because what I have learned over time is that what I've learned is not just for me. The struggles I've been through are not just for me. And I remember one time praying in the shower and it was a really bad situation happening. And I was just praying and I was just like, God, if I have to go through this, use my pain to help someone else through that same thing. So the same thing with food, the pain of obesity, the pain of seeing my dad have his first heart attack at 42, a quintuple bypass when I just had my daughter, and thinking that those things were just normal. No, it doesn't have to be. My life doesn't have to become restricted because of age, because of heart disease, because of diabetes, because of obesity. But wellness is not just about your food. And that is a benefit of becoming my client, because we don't talk about the food all the time. We talk about a lot of other things. So if you have any desire, any inkling that you want to try something different. You want to, the buck to stop with you. You want the generational habits of obesity to stop with you. You want the friendship, the influence that you have to stop, the influence that you have to change generations to come. If that is your thing right now, if that's on your heart, reach out. Free. I don't charge a single person anything. I have been on the phone with it for an hour sometimes with people, just letting them talk. Okay? All right, so if you have any questions, concerns, please drop a comment below. Like I said, if you, I've had tons of conversations in my DM. I was pointing as if you know where my DMs are and as if my DMs are on the ceiling. But anyway, please DM me. Please put a comment below. Let's have a conversation today. Have a good one.